Okay, Shimanti, we're going to look now at your stroke from the front view. And once again, we have both above water and below water. Right here, we can see that head lift. We can see that straight arm recovery and the hand being the last thing to go in the water. As we talked about before, we want to keep that nice low head position even when we breathe. Just rotate that head to the side, lift that chin up. Fancy camera work here. Lost you for a second, but we got the bottom view now. And here comes the top view again. So there's the head coming up. We want to just rotate it to the side, and actually this is something like it's going to look like, maybe just a little bit back. Maybe something like this where the water line is kind of midway between the top of your head. You've got one eye, one goggle up here at the top and one goggle underneath the water. That's what we'd like to see without this lifting of the head. So no lifting the head and no straight arm recovery, but more importantly, have that hand enter the water first, followed by the wrist, followed by the forearm, rather than the reverse like we see. So let's see if there's anything else we can pick up from the front view. And typically this is a good view to see if you're crossing over. And by crossing over, I mean this arm would go beyond the center line. And I think we kind of see that here on this breath stroke. So let me move back. If we don't see it, you're definitely flirting with it. So if we draw a line through the center of your body here, something like this, what we don't want is to see either of your hands cross that line. And this is probably going to move depending on if the camera moves. But we can see here this arm crossed over, although get rid of the line. It looks like it's hard to tell with the camera angle whether the camera moved or whether it was your body that moved. But it looks either your arm is crossing over or it's coming very, very close. So we'd want you at minimum to watch that and possibly even move that arm out so that it's not in this direction, but a little more in this direction. See this one very close to crossing over, but I don't think it did. Your left arm. Your right arm, once again, very, very close. So it wouldn't hurt to move those arms out maybe an inch or so. Have them extend out maybe about an inch. It looks like it gets worse when you take a breath. We go back here and we watch that arm. And part of the reason that this arm will cross over is look how wide it's swinging. We'd like to see you on your side. So if we look at your body angle right here and it's like this, we'd like to see you a little more vertical so that this arm can be up here rather than way out to the side here. When it comes around like this to the side, it has a tendency, it's going in this direction over here, and so it has a tendency to cross over. And you can see how it almost comes across. Now look at the difference here. When you're breathing, we see that body position like this, and we see the arm up here. Come back to the non-breathing stroke. Arms out here, and body position much flatter. So a little more rotation, and get those arms up higher, elbows up higher. Like we said before, what we'd like to see is that elbow up here and then the forearm pointing downward. We can see right here one of the things I talked about. When you raise that head, your lower body wants to drop, and when your lower body wants to drop, your brain says, uh-oh, danger, danger, we got to do something about it. And so we'll see this hand go straight down. And then finally, at some point back here, it actually starts to pull rather than push down. We want to start that pull way back up here. But in order to do that, you're going to have to not lift that head, because that is a total response to lifting the head. See all the splash? That's a result of these arms coming in as a unit, or the hands last, create all that, those air bubbles and that turbulence. We'd like for our swim to be as bubble free underwater as possible, other than of course the bubbles that you're exhaling as you're breathing out. But when you slap that hand in like that, it's just going to drag bubbles rather than coming at an angle and diving that hand down. Good job, good luck this season, and enjoy your swimming.